As the Chase's Sinnerman, Paul Sinha, has become known for his withering put-downs and encyclopedic knowledge. But today he joins us to mark Parkinson's Awareness Week, including how his own diagnosis has changed his whole outlook on life. Please welcome Paul Sinha. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Nice to have you.
Oh, I'm loving the Hawaiian shirt look here, Paul.
Oh, it's not Hawaiian. It's a posh shop in my neighbourhood. It's not Hawaiian.
No, that made a terrible thing.
That's all right.
Terrible gaff. Well, I like it, is what I was saying.
I like your Indonesian outfit as well.
That's a really fancy dress shop.
Listen, you can't live in a posh neighbourhood because I believe you live near her and she doesn't live in a posh neighbourhood.
We actually live on the same road.
We live on the same road. I can't believe I've never bumped into you.
Well, we live in different parts of the main road. The reason you've never bumped into me is because we're responsible for the noise complaints that we've made coming from your house on numerous occasions.
That'll be why.
There's been many.
There's clearly the posh end of the road and the not so posh end.
Exactly.
And you've got a connection as well, you know?
Well, we found out we had a connection in like 15 minutes before we came on.
Well, we're both Bengalis, and when you made your name on Brookside, my sister said that we used to go to the same religious festival in Liverpool. We're not from Liverpool. We used to go to visit our friends in Liverpool.
Oh, and we all...
In the mid-'80s, Liverpool Pudger.
Exactly, and all the adults were upstairs and all the kids were downstairs.
What's
So
Pudger? What is
Pudger is like a festival, isn't it?
Devoted to a particular god or goddess.
Oh, love.
And we,
And you partied together?
It was all about food and drink and watching sports.
Food and drink, less of the food. Yeah.
Well, listen, it's lovely to have a catch-up, and Leshurr and I are feeling really left out. I mean, that's all right. I mean, it's Parkinson's Awareness Week
Yes.
this week, Paul. Can I ask how you are?
I'm fine, to be honest with you. It's I was diagnosed in 2019, which was a bit of a shock to the system, having spent 2 years with a troublesome right shoulder. But to be perfectly honest with you, COVID has been more part of my life than Parkinson's, because Parkinson's is quite a slow process compared to a global pandemic. And so I've had more worries with COVID than Parkinson's, because I'm not quite where I was 2 years ago, for sure, but I'm still fighting fit.
Well, what was the link with the shoulder? I mean, was that linked to the Parkinson's?
Well, apparently, please don't panic if you've got a frozen shoulder, by the way.
No.
Apparently a frozen
and you
shoulder...
are a doctor, so you can say that with authority.
Yeah, apparently a frozen shoulder is a relatively common presentation of Parkinson's disease, but for a year and a half, I only saw orthopaedic specialists, not neurological specialists.
I had a friend who had exactly the same situation.
Again, please don't panic if you have...
No, it's not, because I know my grandmother had Parkinson's as well, and her shoulders were fine. But as it's Awareness Week, because you didn't pick up on that, is there any sort of clues for people that might be struggling and wondering, if you're a family member, wondering if it could be Parkinson's?
In general terms, if you have anything that you're worried about, the NHS is still one of the greatest things that we have. And it's there for you, and you've paid your taxes to use it. Go and see your GP. If you're worried about any aspect of your health, go and seek help. Don't sit on the problem that I did for a few months. Go and seek help, because Parkinson's presents in all sorts of different ways. And one of the things that we want to make people aware of is that everybody's journey is different. Everybody, when they hear the word Parkinson's, thinks of the famous people that have Parkinson's. And they think of the tremor. Well, these are my hands. As you can see, there's a mild tremor on one side and virtually no tremor on the other side. It's not the presenting complication in a lot of people's cases.
And how does that affect, say, your relationship? Because everybody's journey is different, like you say, and not everybody has a partner, some people do. And did your partner pick up on you having... something had changed within you, or was he absolutely unaware?
Well, to be fair, my husband Oliver is quite a calm and pragmatic... Oh, hello. Quite a calm and pragmatic person.
And good looking.
Well, there you go. It's all relative, isn't it? And if we turned up to our house and found it had burned down, he'd be just like, well, I hope we've got home insurance to sort this out.
Wow, cool as a cucumber.
He doesn't panic about things, and he hadn't really picked out anything because everybody was concentrating on the frozen shoulder.
Right.
But since the medication, everything's become clearer that I did have a relatively textbook presentation.
Really?
And I had started to limp by the time that the diagnosis was made. But it actually took a physiotherapist to work out that something might be wrong and recommend that I see a specialist.
But so your husband, Oliver's very pragmatic, but he has been a great support to you, hasn't he?
He has, there's no doubt about that. And right now, as we speak, he's rustling together a beef biryani, I believe, waiting for me when I return. But, yeah, he's been great. And
Are you a romantic man?
I don't think romantic is quite the word.
Shirt's quite romantic.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, you should see the lining. I'm now looking at the lining of the suit. It's even better.
Well, I'm not allowed to advertise on ITV, but it's the poshest shop in the Crystal Palace area.
Oh, I know it.
You know it, yeah. You know very well, I imagine. But, I'm not a hugely romantic person.
Because you proposed the same year that you had the diagnosis.
I would never thought I was going to get married. I know you're having a discussion about marriage later on.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Hello, everybody.
Oh, look at your wedding.
Is that your wedding?
Yeah, that's my three best men and his three best men, so to speak, on his right. What a lovely photo that is.
Oh, that is.
So many happy memories. And I just got drunk at Christmas and realised I had a drunken epiphany that I wanted him to be officially part of the family rather than unofficially part of the family. That was the main driving force. I don't think our relationship is particularly different just because we're married, but officially it is, and that's fine.
Did that feel good then?
It felt great, and it was an amazing... And also, you want to have your day in the sun that's devoted to you.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I had it just before the pandemic. It was my 50th birthday. The following year was done entirely on Zoom, so it was great to get a wedding in person.
And he's a quizzer like you, isn't he?
If anything, he might be slightly better than that. Yeah.
Oh, that's love, if you're prepared to admit that, Paul.
Is he as funny as you, though? Is he as...
Not remotely, no. If he's sitting there looking for my job, you can back off now.
So do you sit at home and quiz each other?
Do you know what? During the pandemic, pretty much that's all we did. But now that life is returning to some semblance of normal, we're branching out into other social activities.
Would he ever come on the show?
Oh, well, he can't.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course.
Don't break
Well, no,
ITV
you can't.
rules. No.
Oh, yeah, it would be ITV rules. Because didn't you have a fracas with him on the show?
Who?
With Paul, when you went
was
on.
a bit strong. That was the bit we argued.
Didn't you?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think you've done
You're trying to give them history that they haven't got.
I thought something terrible had happened between
right?
The Daily
And did he swipe left?
Chase fans in fury as Kaye and Sinnerman take massive swipes at each other.
I thought something terrible had happened between you.
Oh, I lost. You know, pretty simple.
But in Parkinson's Awareness Week, what we really want to get out there is that people present in different ways and don't stick with the stereotypes of what we have. The most difficult thing for me today was actually putting this shirt on because I had to wake up, find the shirt, and then wake Oliver up and say, "Put the shirt on for me." And everything that you take for granted takes a lot. I mean, you can see that I'm sitting here with this right hand not moving much. That's its default state, and everything that you usually take for granted just takes longer to do.
Yeah.
That's so honest of you, honestly, really,
But then the drugs are so good, aren't they, and can help so much now.
Well, they help slow progress, but you get a lot of side effects on the drugs, mostly mood swings, to be honest with you.
Right.
And people need to be aware that just be a little bit more sensitive. That's why I did the disability campaign with ITV to raise awareness of the sort of things that people might take for granted. Like, if you come up to me and ask me for a selfie, I will give you that selfie. But if you come up to me 10 minutes later and go, "I didn't really like that photo, can we have another one?" I might be a little bit irritated.
OK. All right, let him off, folks. Let him off.
All right. Well, listen, Paul, thanks very much for coming with your beautiful shirt and your beautiful suit. I mean, I'm sorry I called it a Hawaiian shirt.
And I tried to put a positive thing on it, and I think, you know, cherish life and cherish...
Exactly.
When you mentioned the parents before, cherish every moment you have with your elderly relatives because their washing machine is far faster than yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.